Yeah.
All right, so we're getting into the match here.
Okay, finally, we're off. We're about to get started here, and let's see what starting level they pick. Typically, we go for 18 starts, even though 15 is allowed, and it looks like they're going to go for 18. So 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And here we go. You notice we've got the same pieces. And in Classic Tetris, you kind of want to stack everything over to the left so that you can keep the well open on the right. Since in Classic Tetris, the line tetramino, the I tetramino, has a bias of rotation that favors having the well on the right.
A lot of pieces favor the right side, and it's easier to get things to the right. So if you're in a panic and you're like, oh, geez, I need to clear some lines, it's nice to have the stack built up on the left so you can just focus on clearing on the right.
Yeah, since it's easier to get stuff over to the right, if you have like a spire in the middle, it can get hung if you aren't able to get it over to the left fast enough. So getting the stuff over onto the left when it's easy is always favorable.
And look at this clean stacking on both sides. Nice burn for Pixel there to keep the stack nice and flat. Gonna be Tetris ready soon.
And boom, Tetris for Melon Soda. And boom, Tetris for Pixel. And another Tetris for Melon Soda. So this is a close game starting off.
And if you see that little green or red number at the top under the score, that's the difference between each of the players. So right now, there's a 16,000 point lead for Melon Soda, which is less than a Tetris. So that means it's pretty close.
Yeah, usually when it's less than a Tetris, or even just a few thousand points, we'll say something like neck and neck, because making a Tetris is really the thing that determines whether you're ahead or not, and getting the big points. So what you're looking for is wanting to be ahead by at least a few Tetrises to really secure your lead.
All right, and the way you do that is by keeping your stack clean. That is, you're always ready for whatever pieces the game throws at you, because the game's randomizer is not very nice. It will be mean to you at the worst possible times, so you gotta make sure your stack is ready for anything.
Yeah, that's the other thing to note, is that even though we're playing on a modern platform, most versions of modern Tetris give you what's called like a 7 bag, and that guarantees that you'll be getting a variety of pieces within a certain number of distributions. So if you have X number of pieces, there's always going to be a long bar like every 14 pieces or so. I'm not sure if that's the exact number, but something like that. But in NES Tetris and Classic Tetris, and in this specific mode in Tetris Effect, it is not like that. It's going to be much more random, and you might go through what we call a long bar drought, where a long bar does not come for 10, 20, 30, sometimes even 40 pieces. You might not get a long bar. And if you're trying to wait for the long piece, it could cause you to top out because you're not able to burn it down fast enough. So the strategy in Classic Tetris is quite a bit different from the modern Tetris, is that you have to play a lot safer in case of a drought. Ooh.
Yeah, that misdrop from Pixel.
But Pixel able to get it over to the left, and should be okay if they could burn it down. And
yeah, ooh, still kind of spiry and needs another long bar here.
Dependency on a long bar. Ooh,
nice T-spin, but hangs the long bar. Oh no!
Oh, and Melon's gonna win that one, ahead by 62,000 points. Yeah, Pixel having long bar dependency covered up the well. It wasn't really a well, but it was an opening that needed to. Long bar was needed to burn and wasn't able to. So yeah, this is best of 5. So first player to get 3, and that's going to put Melon on the board for 1. And let's see what level we start off here. It's going to be another 18.
Players have a choice of either 15 or 18. You know, sometimes you might prefer the slower speed if it's what you're more comfortable on, but 18 is the competition standard, as they say.
Right, because when you actually try to go for the highest scores possible, then 18 is more favorable than 15. Although, I mean, some players might pick 15 just to throw their opponents off. We've seen
That's right.
Things like you'll put like Joseph Staley on like level 1 or something, and then he'll like top out early for whatever reason, even though he's one of the best players in the world. So it could be a strategy in some cases.
Right, it's all about what you're used to. If you play lots of 15, you could be better on 15.
Yeah, that could be a strat if You just want to either troll people or put on a show.
Yeah, so both players working on a little bit of digging here. A nice J and L there from Melon Soda to get the well open, and a Tetris. Same for Pixel.
Yeah, yep. Close game so far. Early on. Boom, Tetris for Melon. And Pixel's Tetris ready as well. Just waiting for that long bar. And since they have same piece sets, they'll get it eventually. Boom, Tetris for Pixel.
Very nice. The absolute focus and concentration you need to play this game, it really can't be overstated. Like, the smallest mistakes at any time can just cost you everything, so you got to be on the top of your game at every single second.
Yeah, that's another thing that's not immediately visible about the difference between this and modern Tetris, is that when a piece lands, like let's say if you have a Tetramino just land on top of another Tetramino, in modern Tetris you can slide it off after a few frames and it's fine. Like you can slide things off and you can rotate things against walls, which is called a wall kick. You can't do either of those things in this classic mode. Once the piece touches the top of another and it locks down, you can't move it. It's sticky, as some would call it. So unless you actually try it, it's kind of hard to know how much harder it is, but it's a lot harder than modern Tetris in just the piece behavior.
Right, the restrictive movement, the rotations you get no special rotations. You know, the piece has the one way it flips, and that's it.
Yeah, if you're against the wall with like the I Tetramino or an L or a J, it won't even rotate. Whereas in modern Tetris, it'll kind of kick it off of the wall. And also, when you move left and right, modern Tetris a lot faster from left to right, so there's not really that problem where the board being halfway up becomes dangerous. In classic Tetris, if you see someone who's playing like on level 18 or 19 and they're halfway up the board, at some point it becomes impossible to move a piece all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And that's why in classic Tetris we have techniques like hyper tapping and now rolling, where you actually try to override the limitations of the delayed auto shift, or DAS as we call it, and try to manually push the piece over 4 or 5 times to get all the way over to the left or to the right just by using your fingers. But you don't need to do that in modern Tetris, but you still need to do that in classic Tetris and in this mode.
Indeed. Yeah, Pixel, a little bit of a scary stack there. Had a decent time long bar, but in the middle of a kind of scary dig. We'll see. Oh, the L gets over. Okay. Looking pretty good. A square for the right would have been nice.
Yeah, T would be great right now. Okay, gets the T.
All right, Pixel's hanging on.
Yeah, with Pixel in the lead, Melon's chance to catch up is now, and Melon has a great-looking board. And it's about to bang down to Tetris, and Melon bangs down to Tetris. And we're neck and neck in score.
Indeed, and Pixel almost ready to get this middle opened up. Yes, there it is. Take a burn with the square, a long bar, and everything is fixed. There we go. So nice moves by Pixel.
Okay, Pixel's clean again. Boom, Tetris for Pixel. And in the meantime, Melon has gotten a lead of a little bit less than a Tetris, so scores are still close, and we are just past the 100 line mark. At 130 lines, the game is going to increase speed as we call the transition to level 19. You'll see a significant increase in speed, and the pieces become harder to move all the way to the left and to the right, and that's where you want to make all your main points on 18 if you can, and then everything else that you get is on 19 and beyond at the higher speed.
Right. It's another difference between classic and modern. In modern Tetris games, the speed kind of increases gradually, but in classic Tetris, it's the same speed for a while, and then 19 hits, and boom, 50% faster all at the same time.
There you go. So Pixel hits transition first, now at level 19, and the speed is increased. And we'll see if that changes the complexion of the match here.
Yeah, so Pixel is behind in score and will have to be doing Tetrises on level 19 to keep up. A nice stack so far, but that left side got kind of messed up.
Yeah, the left
There's a Tetris
side,
though.
Yeah, managed to get the Tetris.
Ooh, Melon, kind of high, but gets that Tetris.
Yeah, Melon playing a little risky there, but that's what you need to do, score. You need to continue to score beyond level 19, and really the difference between the good players and the great players are ones that can consistently score Tetrises even past level 19. And in the CTWC upper echelons of skill, you now have players who can get to level 29 and still score line clears and Tetrises even beyond that by using techniques like hyper tapping and rolling.
Oh no, Pixel, the hang on the right side.
High.
Didn't get the burn off. We'll get a Tetris though.
Bar, but there's a mess to be cleaned up here, and that's gonna be hard to clear.
Yeah, that's too many hangs to manage. Pixel's gonna be done with 524,000.
And yeah, Melon takes the second round, and Pixel is now they have to win this game in order to stay in the match and in the tournament, since this is a losers bracket match.
Indeed, right. We haven't really talked about how the bracket works here, but it's a full double elimination, which means both players have what you can think of as an extra life. And here, where we are in the lower bracket, all the players have already expended one of those extra lives. Ooh, so 15 start for this game.
Interesting. Yeah, so here we're going to see a slower start. The level up is going to happen a little bit sooner, but it'll be going from level 15 to 16. I think it happens at about 100 lines. And
100 lines exactly, in fact.
Nice. So a little bit slower speed here. Maybe you might see a higher proportion of Tetrises, just due to the nature of being able to move the pieces around a little bit better.
Right, indeed. The slower the speed is, the more you can do with the same left and right movement. So you can stack a little bit higher, and when you can stack higher, you can get just a few more Tetrises.
Right, and if a player might be having more early top outs or problems, particularly scoring high on level 18, level 15 might be more suitable. We don't typically see level 15 used much in the main CTWC tournaments anymore, just because everybody is at such a high level. But when I play in tournaments, sometimes I think I was in a qualifier for CTWC, I think it was 2018, and I think I made my qualifying score on level 15, and made it into top 8 and got destroyed by Harry Hong. So props to level 15 for getting me that far.
Oh, Melon Soda in a bit of a rough situation here.
Yeah, up pretty high, but I mean, 15, if you're good at 18 and 19, and we know that Melon Soda definitely is, you could play up there, and even though it looks dangerous because we're used to it being super dangerous, on 18 and 19, 15 might be okay to be up there, living dangerously.
Of course, you never know when you might get 5 S pieces in a row. It can always go worse.
And actually, so these players are probably used to the transition happening at 130. So 100 lines might actually be really dangerous. And I'm really curious to see how they handle level 16, let's just say, because it's going to be a change in speed we're not used to seeing, happening at a time that most players probably aren't used to seeing it happen.
Right. The speed of levels 16 through 18, it always feels a little bit faster when you're coming from 15 than if you just start on it. It's funny.
Exactly. Actually, I like playing 19 because I'll play 18 better coming off of it, if I'm just like trying to get like a PB or something. So the inverse is true of 15.
Yeah, such a mental game it is, really. So let's see, there's a 52,000 point lead for Pixel right now. That's about 2 or 3 Tetrises.
So yeah, this strategy might be paying off actually for Pixel, because with a higher proportion of Tetrises and a higher score, this could get Pixel on the board here. They do need to win this game to stay in the match.
because it's first to 3, best of 5, and Melon Soda's already got 2 points.
Melon with a really great build here, waiting for that long bar. And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Melon. Reducing that deficit just a little bit, but 75,000 points. These Tetrises are actually worth less than we're usually used to seeing. So that's like a bigger gap in number of Tetrises.
If my memory serves correctly, a Tetris on 15 should be worth 19,200.
Yeah, it's like 5,000 less, I think.
It should be 3,600 less than the level 18 amount, which is 22,800. So many numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to, I don't have everything memorized, especially like the levels that people don't particularly play much, like this one. Okay, so 94 lines. Pixel's about to hit the level 100 transition. And we'll probably do it with the next Tetris if they can get set up. Oh, they're going to have to burn from the top there. So, here we go.
Nice moves. What is nice about starting on 15, though, is the entire stack will change to 16 color, and then 17, and then 18. It's kind of a pre-warning for the level 19 transition.
That's true. So, Melon also approaching 100 lines here. Their board's looking great, so it shouldn't be a problem. Boom, Tetris for Melon.
And this game can actually be closer than it seems. It's a 40,000 point difference, but Melon Soda has 10 more lines to work with. And that could easily be 2 Tetrises.
Yeah, Melon has caught up in pace, getting a higher proportion of Tetrises towards the end of that. And with momentum going into level 17 here.
There you go. Pixel level 18 with 400k. Melon just trying to get the stack open for a Tetris. There it is.
Okay, Pixel with a hole.
All right, gonna want that clean before level 19 hits.
Right, because we're still 2 lines now away from level 19, and that's going to be much bigger speed difference. There it is. Level 19 transition. Pixel going into it with a slight lead. 2 Tetrises ahead.
All right, and Pixel is taking care of the stack very nicely.
Yep. Board's looking good. Still got a 2 Tetris lead. Now on level 20. And Melon set up for a Tetris. Should be able to get a couple more before transition here. Boom, Tetris for Melon. And it's set up for one more. Here it is. Tetris for Melon, level 19.
Pixel currently playing low, just, treading water here. And that could be the strategy, is just stay barely in the lead for as long as possible. Don't exert too much energy and risk making a fatal mistake.
Yeah, playing conservative and outlasting your opponent sometimes is a way to go, because you can, if your opponent tops out, then you can do a chase down and just try to get the score that you need, taking as little risk as possible.
That's right, and in the current rule set, if your opponent has the lead and tops out, you get 2 minutes to recover the score, which is a decent amount of time.
Yeah, that's actually an element that's not in our...
Ooh, Melon Soda. Woo! What a move there. Staying alive, just barely.
Ooh, and now we got some holes. Pixel has holes in the stack.
Oh yeah, Pixel. Such a messy field. That left side is kind of high. Right. Gets the piece over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's starting to look like type B on the bottom there for Pixel.
Melon Soda in trouble too. Needs a long ball, but no, can't get it over.
And Pixel takes that with a level 15 start, actually playing a role in getting on the board there. So we are 1-2 here. Pixel still needing to win this game to stay in the match, but is actually on the board now with a win. So
right.
Looks like Melon's going to start on 18 here.
Yeah, that's going to do wonders for your morale. Being down 2-0, you're just ready to lose and go home and be sad. But, if you're down 2-1, you're saying, all right, I have a chance. I can make the comeback. Let's go.
Yeah, and I really like that level 15 start strat. Probably made a difference there. So we'll see how Pixel adapts going back to 18. Just coming off of level 19.
Melon Soda with
actually
the eye tuck there.
Yeah, Melon with a cleaner board now early on. Ooh, boom, Tetris for Pixel with a dirty Tetris. So a Tetris built kind of like on top of some garbage on the bottom.
Right,
when it's not clean, we call it dirty.
That's right. In Classic, it's notable because the higher you play in Classic, the more dangerous it is. So a dirty Tetris is like a mark of the fearless.
Yeah, it's not best practices to try to go for Tetrises when you're high up on the board, and the higher up it is, we consider that to be, dirtier and dirtier the higher it is.
Ooh, wonderful timing for that J piece for Melon Soda. Gonna clean out the stack and make that Tetris possible.
Yep, Melon with a half Tetris lead now. Both boards looking clean. And Melon smartly stacking everything over to the left, just dumping things that aren't useful. Boom, Tetris for Melon. And a lot of the higher level players in Nest Tetris will use their maneuver. If they are capable of hyper tapping or rolling, you'll just see pieces just fly over to the left as much as possible to build it out and make burning easier.
That's right. If you're going all the way to the left or all the way to the right, you can unleash your full speed and just, let it fly.
I think Melon missed a spin there, and that's what caused the hole to form in that pattern. So Melon's going to have to do some burning to dig back down.
Yeah, Pixel not quite Tetris ready, so won't get to make up some of that score deficit yet.
Yeah, it looks like both Pixel and Melon will be having to do some digging here.
Yeah, bumpy boards.
And Melon with a dirty setup here. Gets if they get the long bar, and they do.
Very nice.
Boom, Tetris for Melon. Nice dirty Tetris there. So sometimes you can.
Ooh.
Yeah, Pixel kind of in trouble.
This is looking a little bit dangerous. Not a great sequence of pieces coming up here.
That's going to be tough. Oh, and then you're not going to do anything past that. And Melon's going to take the match because, Pixel building up dangerously high, not able to burn on the left side. But Pixel kind of like in a competitive debut from our point of view, at least, doing very well to get here. Hopefully we'll see them again.
Right. That's a top 8 finish in the fall seasonal for Tetris Effect Connected's Classic. So not too bad.
Mm-hmm. And Melon getting up. It's a losers bracket match, but you can actually fight your way through losers and take the whole thing. So Melon being our representative from the regular CTWC field, now in the Tetris Effect Connected World Championships Classic Score Attack.
Indeed. So I think we're gonna have our next losers bracket round,
and that's gonna be Tailbacks versus Kirby 703.
Ooh, yeah, that should be a good matchup, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'd like to see. I know Kirby, master of the curb Tetris and super good at guideline or modern Tetris, but I love to see players who use different types of the game, and I'd like to see more guideline players just really show their stuff on Classic, and here's a chance to see that.
Right, definitely. I'd like to see players with a variety of skills, and Kirby, definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
Like, if you've ever seen Kirby play with invisible Tetris, where the blocks disappear once they touch the stack, she is incredible at that.
Yeah, and that's something that I remember when we first had modern Tetris players in our scene. Like, a lot of the ones would come over from Tetris the Grandmaster, which had that invisible Tetris mode. So Alex Kerr and Corian were Tetris Grandmasters, and were able to get that achievement on those versions where you had to do that at the end of the game.
That's my favorite thing, seeing like the modified challenges, you know, the different kinds of Tetris.
Yeah, and we finally come full circle in a sense, because you'd usually see modern versions of the game just stick to being modern. And in this version of Tetris Effect Connected, them including a classic version of the game, kind of like finally throwing it back. I think it's the first time that they've done that in a product. And now you can have people who are into one version cross over into the other, and that facilitates just more interaction with communities. And I remember that before there would be kind of like modern communities and classic communities, and eventually they did kind of meet in the middle, and now you have a product that embodies that. So that's super cool, and love to see more evolution in communities and products over the years.
They're talking about the communities of Tetris, and I think that's a good segue to talking about one of our sponsors, Twitch, if you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, so Twitch, definitely pivotal in creating communities. A lot of our Tetris superstars, like the late great Jonas Neubauer and Harry Hong, will stream on Twitch and be able to interact with players and create their own communities and fans and people who can learn from them and kind of like spread the love and joy of classic Tetris or whatever game a player loves, you know, by playing on Twitch and having people watch them and interact with them. That's how you form a community. And seeing that happen in real time for us here in classic Tetris and in modern Tetris and all forms of gaming, Twitch has really made that possible. So I'll definitely be thankful to Twitch for creating this. And do the read here. It says launched in 2011, which is an interactive live streaming service for content spanning gaming, entertainment, sports, music, and more. And at any given moment, on average, more than 2.5 million people come together from all over the world to interact around this distinct form of entertainment that's created through the shared interactions of millions. So thanks again to Twitch and for helping spread our community and our scene, and doing things like putting us on their front page, like I hear they might be doing for us today.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, more eyes on us. You know, people open up Twitch and they see people playing Tetris, and they get to see Tetris Effect Connected and the classic score attack mode. They get to jump down this amazing rabbit hole of a beloved game that everybody knows, but might not know just how crazy and skilled our competitors are.
And it looks like...
All right. So another shout out we need to do is another one of our sponsors, G Fuel. This year's Tetris festivities are brought to you by G Fuel, the official energy drink of esports. They have a Tetris flavor, believe it or not. It's called Tetris Blast, and apparently it tastes like rainbow candy. You could get 25% off at gfuel.com with code CTWC25, but be sure to do it fast because the offer ends November 15th, and that's around the same date, November 14th, that our Classic Tetris World Championships Grand Finals will be held on. And definitely tune in on Twitch to see all that go down. That's our main tournament. Our Final 8 is going to be on November 14th, but get your G Fuel by November 15th.
Right, you're used to watching Tetris, now you can drink Tetris. You know, who wouldn't want to try that? What
I love to say is, get that G Fuel, that Tetris Blast, and then it's boom, Tetris in you.
So here we are, we got our players, Tailbacks on the left, Kirby on the right.
All right.
All right, let's hope the game starts up a little smoother than last time.
I gotta love the Kirby shirts. Was that the Feels Bear or something? With a rainbow.
Oh yeah, the Pride Bear.
Cool.
So good. Hey, there it is. Let's see. Speed choice is gonna be
18.
Looks like 18 for the first game.
All right.
Good luck to both our players.
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Oh, Kirby's starting off with a little bit of a misdrop on that T.
Ooh. But we're still early on. Burns will happen. I'm trying to figure out which controller Tailbacks is using. It looks like an 8-bit Duke controller, maybe. It's got a wire though, and well, it's got a light on it, so it might be that one.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You can play with whatever controller you like, and there you go. Don't even have to be a keyboard or the original NES controller.
So Kirby going left well here, which is interesting. Most classic players will tend to build the well on the right, but it could be due to the burns that happened early on.
But there's a spire forming because a long bar didn't come. So now a lot of burns have to be set up here. Yeah, and that's the game of Classic, is sometimes you just don't get a friendly sequence of pieces and you gotta make a weird stack.
So yeah, Kirby building up high on the left, so those are all gonna have to either be burned down or you can build a dirty Tetris to kind of make use of those lines. But we're still so early on that you probably just want to burn it down and make a Tetris, boom, Tetris for Kirby, and that's what she does.
Yeah, we'll see the well moving back to the right side. That's where most people like to have the well.
Yeah. So it must have been just the burns at the beginning that set that formation up for the well to form on the left, but could be preferable just to burn it down. That's what Kirby did. Gets a triple there, and everything is clean again. In the meantime, Tailbacks has opened up a half Tetris lead now, up 15,000 points.
Right,
Kirby
low stacks on both sides though, so no immediate danger here.
Yeah, Kirby banging down to Tetris, evens up the score. We are neck and neck.
Indeed, just a few thousand points difference. That could be like one triple.
Yep. Both fields looking good. Boom Tetris for Kirby, boom Tetris for Tailbacks.
Oh, it's like a misdrop on that square.
Yeah, so it looks like Kirby's going to want to burn that off the top. Thing you want to watch out for is not putting too much weight or pieces on top of the well underneath. Opens it back up. Boom Tetris for Kirby. Handled that very nicely.
Right.
And boom Tetris for Tailbacks.
Because if you have a messy stack and you want to get rid of it, you want to bring it down. They call that down stacking. It's actually a very in-depth and complex because you have to think like often way far in the future.
Yeah, you have to think like 4-dimensionally, like what pieces might come and what possibilities will be open once you cover things up to open it up. Sometimes people think of it as a combination of moves rather than just a single line clear. So yeah, Kirby now in the lead by about a Tetris and a half. Both fields looking good.
About halfway to that level 19 transition.
Boom, Tetris for Tailbacks.
Kirby setting up, trying to get Tetris ready here. But yeah, a little bit of an awkward sequence. Shouldn't be too much of a problem though. Yeah, the tuck setup works.
Yeah, nice tuck. And nice burn there.
Yeah, look at that cleanup. Beautiful.
Yep. Very nice. Tailbacks, clean board. Just down by a Tetris, so just opting to stack the eye pieces up on the left like that. Sometimes that's the right thing to do.
Right. There were 3 rows built up, so couldn't use those eyepieces to Tetris yet.
Yeah, if you can't use the eyepiece for if you can't use it for Tetris, you either want to lay them flat if possible, or just chuck it over all the way to the left where it won't create a spire.
And that's often one of the most frustrating things in this game, is you feel like you never get an eyepiece when you really need it, and then when you don't need them, you get a whole bunch.
Yeah. When it's actually on the Nintendo hardware, sometimes I feel like it's cursed or something. It's like it's got a mind of its own.
It really does feel like that.
Yeah. And for some reason, because I know like they actually had to create an algorithm to mimic the Nintendo, I don't feel like Tetris Effect has that evil veil of RNG behind it for some reason. So it's really just that Nintendo hardware. That's like the force that you have to fight.
Right, and at least in this, you know, if you get a really weird sequence, you can be assured that the same thing will happen to your opponent. So at least there's that.
Yep. CMP sets are, at least there's that. You will suffer with me.
Yeah, sometimes you'll have a game that, just suddenly ends, and then you look at the end and it's like max drought 50, and you say, oh, that's what ended the game for both players.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are at 120 lines. We're about 10 lines from transition, so players probably want to keep their fields as low as possible going in, and maybe even try to get a couple of Tetrises to maximize their score. Okay, so Kirby hits transition first.
Oh, it's still super close. Just a 6,000 point difference.
Yeah, really neck and neck here. You love to see it.
Yeah, this is going to come down to level 19.
Yep.
Who can keep it up? The box a little bit high. Ooh, needs a long bar really bad.
Is waiting for it.
And the stack's just getting too high to manage.
Yeah, and that's deadly. And Kirby's going to take the first round.
Yes, there you go. That speed increase, level 19. It's just brutal if you have a high stack.
Yeah. And once you commit like that, I mean, sometimes if you set yourself up for burns, then it won't be fatal. But Tailbacks was all in on that one and just really waiting for the long bar. And if you have your eye on opponent and pieces are coming next because they're ahead in the piece set, you could kind of get away with that if the long bar is coming. But I don't think Tailbacks did, and they were just gambling on the RNG there.
Right. When I'm playing, I'm kind of doing that passively. I'm listening for the Tetris sound effect to know when long bars are coming.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
All right, Kirby getting the J piece to fix up that stack. Gonna be Tetris ready now.
Yeah, both players are Tetris ready. Boom, Tetris for Tailbacks. Now up by about half a Tetris, but Kirby's ready to score. Just waiting on that long bar. It is.
Whenever someone says half a Tetris, I imagine like you drop the long bar and it clears half the cells required, and you just have a Swiss cheese left over.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not really what you mean. You just mean the points of a Tetris divided by 2. But there we go. Clean stacks both sides. Tetris for Kirby.
Tetris for Tailbacks.
Yeah, this is what you love to see. You love to see the clean stacks and the sharp decision making. Just keeping everything clean and accommodating.
Yep. Yeah, and you're seeing good builds here. Things being pushed over to the left to accommodate for burning. And you want to kind of keep the play field as even as possible, but then be able to accommodate every piece. You'll love to see like the stack of boxes all the way on the left, because that's where they belong. That's their natural place in the world. If you see boxes, stack them on the left.
Yeah, we got another one. Yes. Another one. Yes.
Yep. Barely fitting there. Like hyper tappers and rollers can get them up even higher. Wow, look at that. Just a tower of boxes.
All right. Not gutsy enough to put that square up, though.
A tapper or roller might have gone for it, but Tailbacks realizes that, the movement speed isn't enough to get there. Oh, there's another one. Infinite tower of boxes. Oh, it uses that on the right, and another one comes with so many boxes in this piece set.
Yeah, wow. It's a good time to have a flat stack.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So many boxes. It's a box storm. Another one.
Yeah, we're in like the mail facility here.
Green tea, what are you doing? What's with this algorithm?
All right, there we go. Kirby had the stack blocked off for a little bit, but got it open, got a Tetris. And looking good. 4,000 point lead for Kirby. Now down to so close, 330 point difference.
Good close game. Players are pretty much down at the bottom, so on the way to just past 80 lines.
You know, talking about working in the box factory, and the Kirby would have liked a box a little earlier there. Didn't get one though. But did do a pretty cool J spin to fix that stack.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a cool spin. Yeah, very evenly matched here.
All right, our two players are keeping up with each other. And on the same exact piece, if you look at the next boxes right now, you see the same block happening.
Yep, so if the box storm happens again, you know, it's going to rain on both of them at the same time. And Tailbacks doesn't have that, that
tuck
nice
there.
power. Yeah, good tuck. Keeping the build clean.
Yeah, so at 102 lines, we're coming up on that magical number 130, which is level 19. Both players still clean, getting those Tetrises.
Yeah, looks like they've kind of warmed up and gotten the rhythm. We're not seeing too many holes or any burns or any digs. So what you want to see going into level 19.
Right, this sloping build for Tailbacks there. And nice adjustment on that J. You know, that was about to take a burn and remove the Tetris readiness, but flipping it up like that saved the burn and allowed the Tetris.
Yeah, sometimes you know your what your next piece is, and that'll change what you do once you realize what's possible with it.
Right. And that's what Tetris is all about, that rapid decision making in the split second.
Good flat burn there, keeping it clean.
Nice S spin. Let's go. Super close to level 19 now.
Opts to cover the well right before transition. Let's see if they get the right pieces to resolve this in time. That's a bit tricky.
Okay, 129. Just needs a long bar.
And yeah, it does. Oh man, just cover right when it comes.
Yeah, able to take a few burns,
finally,
and there you go. Awesome.
Yeah, boom, Tetris for Tailbacks. That did work out. Took a little bit of risk there. Okay, Kirby trying to get the log bar over, misplaces it, but it's nothing dangerous. Still ahead by a
recovery. Yeah, just a 20,000 point difference. It's not much here. Level 21 now, with beautiful lime colors.
Yeah, super close game here.
Simul Tetris.
Nice. Yeah, both players with clean fields. They're both, you know, barely getting what they need over where it needs to go.
Oh yeah, Kirby opting for Tetris readiness there. It's gonna pay off though. There's a Tetris. So Kirby holding on to that lead of 20,000 points.
And is able to resolve the hole really gracefully. Like there is a number of ways that could have been handled, and that was probably the best way to do it.
Right. Very nice. And it looks like Tailbacks is gonna take the lead. Kirby with a misdrop on the left side. Luckily, this should be low enough. Oh, but no! No!
Oh, no!
The missed eyepieces.
Yeah, once you build up too high on the left there and are unable to get something onto the far left side, you can't burn anymore, and that's going to do it for Kirby, and Tailbacks is going to take the round. So we are 1-1.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but that's one of the consequences of how brutal this game is it'll punish your mistakes unapologetically.
Yeah, and that's kind of like and also an artifact of playing DAS is that if you hold the D-pad to the left, you can only move it over so far unless you're capable of hyper tapping or quick tapping or a variety of other maneuvers that allow you to get it over to the left above where your obstruction is. So if you hang something like you saw there, the next piece you try to get over also has a chance of hanging. If you don't have DAS charged, then that the chance that you'll be able to fill that slot on the left becomes less and less.
Right, and with DAS, if you're just using DAS and holding down the button, the most you can get over to the left on 19, if it's like a vertical eyepiece, it's only 6 high. It's not a lot of space.
Yeah, so sometimes you actually don't want to use the eyepiece. You might want to do like a flatter burn with like a J in order to burn it down.
The wider the piece is, the fewer taps it needs to get over to the left, so you can get it a little bit higher. Ooh, dirty Tetris for Kirby there.
Yeah, nice dirty Tetris there. And yeah, sometimes the more aggressive players will go for the dirty Tetrises because they're trying to economize every line clear that they can, trying to make all of them Tetrises if possible.
Right, it's a tough decision to make though. Sometimes you set up the Tetris and it just wasn't the right move, and there's kind of no way to know if you're going to get the long bar or not.
So Tailbacks with a lot of digging to do here. There's holes in the stack.
Making good progress right there though.
Yeah, he's getting the right pieces to resolve it. And just opts to burn it all down and make the field clean. Good job.
Kirby waiting for the J there to make this dig a little bit cleaner. Yeah, kind of an awkward stack there. Almost cleaned up though.
Can turn it into a dirty, but I guess decides to bail on that.
Alright, sometimes it's better to just focus on cleaning up the stack and doing Tetrises when it's clean.
Yeah, and that's a good looking board for Kirby now. And after digs on both sides, we're still in a pretty close game. Scores are neck and neck at 144,000 points.
And there's a 1 point difference.
1 point difference. 1 touchdown point lead for Kirby. You love to see it.
That's what's kind of fun about this game. Is because you get that score difference readout, you can kind of mess with it.
Hey, Kirby knows. No. Get fun with it.
You know, if you just wanted to be absolute BM, you could try to win every game by just 1 point.
Yeah, we've had a few situations where that could happen, where there's like a chase down and the scores were like even, and we're like, push down just for 1 point, push down for 1 point, and they didn't do it, and we're like, oh.
I think that happened to Shen once. He was in a tournament match for a Classic, and he's doing a chase down, and then he sees the number turn green, and he says, okay, good, and stops playing, but it was at 0000000, so he ended up tying by accident.
Was that like a maxed out club thing? Like maybe they need to make a new color.
Right, that's actually in this game, but it was just kind of funny to see.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna have to coordinate with both Trey and Enhance and say like, if it's 0, it should be like yellow or something. Because if you see green, you're like, oh, I won, right?
Right.
It might not be enough.
All right, but there we go. Tetris for Kirby.
Nice. But yeah, if it's yellow, then it's like, nope, it's not over yet. And also because it's like kind of like between green and red, sort of.
There's the 1 point difference again.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Perfectly flat stack for Kirby. Could have been a Tetris all clear, but the game didn't give the eyepiece. So sad.
There's Tetris for Kirby. So Kirby with a 1 Tetris lead. Tailbacks pretty clean. Has a spire there forming just because there's nowhere else to put those Z's. Set up for a T-spin. Let's see if he goes for a T-spin here. Nope. Opts to burn it down.
And that's the thing about setting up particular spins in this game. If it can only accommodate one kind of piece, it can kind of not end too well for you, because you'll get droughted for all kinds of pieces in this game. Like, oh, I just need an S, and then you go 20 pieces without an S.
You know, I try to set up so that I'm not long bar dependent, and a J or an L will work, and it doesn't give me I, J, or L. And I'm just like, oh, next game. Kirby up now by 80,000 points. Bangs down another Tetris. Now up by 100,000 points. Biggest lead we've seen in this game thus far.
Yeah, but some nice spins to clean up the stack for Tailbacks there.
Yeah, Tailbacks, spitting that T there just to keep things clean. And boom, Tetris for Tailbacks. Yeah,
Right.
with that digging that Tailbacks did, now Kirby's jumped up into the lead now at level 19. So Kirby hit transition. Both players now hitting transition now at the higher speed.
Yeah, Kirby at 500,000 on level 19. Pretty decent game so far.
Yeah, good transition score. In Classic Tetris, you kind of want to be at about 500,000 points when you hit level 9.
Yeah, Tailbacks has got a kind of a high wall on the left, but gets the eyepiece over. That's going to be a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, it was actually a little risky because Tailbacks could have burned down on the right first before trying to move something over to the left, but they were able to get it over to the left, just barely.
Right, and gets a Tetris, but Kirby still leads by around 120,000 points. So if Kirby can keep it up.
Set up for dirty. Gets hangs the S, so it's gonna be hard to clear that out. It's possible.
Yeah, this is tough for Kirby.
Ooh, gets the burn. Gets the flat burn there. Needs a box or something to go over to the left side. Gets it.
Kirby hanging on for dear life right now, but can't get that L piece over.
Yeah, I needed an L or a square, and tops out, but has a substantial lead, 150,000 point lead. So Tailbacks needs 596,000 points to win, 597,000 points, and maybe about 5 or so Tetrises. Not the best board state here.
Stack's getting kind of high.
It's a double. It's going to take some good placements to win this.
Oh, no!
No, and tops out, and Kirby is going to take that one due to that substantial point lead.
All right, there you see. I think RNG had something to do with that, right? Both players kind of getting knocked out around the same part in level 22.
Yeah, unfavorable pieces, and like Spire's building kind of happened around the same time, and Kirby just was much more score efficient going in.
Right. That's what it comes down to. Having the better snap decision making is what it's all about.
So now Tailbacks has to win this to stay in the match and in the tournament, since this is a loser's bracket match.
That's right. No more second chances for Tailbacks.
And Tailbacks with a little bit of digging. Kirby's board looking really good.
Yeah. Ooh, nice burn with the J. I kind of thought it was an unusual with the first J, but the second J, and it was, there's a well open, and there's a Tetris.
Yep. And Tailbacks is going to go for column 7 here. No, 8.
Yeah, I'm really bad with the column numbers too.
Only when it gets all the way over there, it's just like, is that 7 or 6, 7 or 8?
I know columns 1, 2, 9, and 10, and that's it.
Yeah.
So Kirby gonna set up a nice little burn there. Kind of an awkward, bumpy field on the left, but it has turned out just fine.
Yep, getting it done.
Alright, some nice safe moves. Setting up a big 2-wide well. The 2-wide well is very nice to see in Classic because you can often take a burn with almost any piece in it.
Yeah, that's definitely the favorable thing, having the 2-wide opening on the top of the well. Like, even if you aren't in a position, like if you're not built for a Tetris specifically, like building towards having a well with that is better than not, because you'll at least survive if the long bar doesn't come.
Alright, that's definitely the way I play the game. I see it as, well, the most important thing is to survive as long as possible. So I really like 2-wide wells, and I like playing it safe.
Yep. Okay, both boards are looking good now. Kirby
yes,
with
indeed.
Just under a Tetris lead.
Oh, look how beautifully that T-piece fits into there. That's awesome.
Tailbacks with the Tetris. Now we are neck and neck. Very close game.
Tetris for Kirby. Yeah, so we're past halfway until the level 19 portion here.
Yep.
Both players looking pretty clean.
Tetris for Kirby. And Tetris for Tailbacks. We're pretty much, they're getting pieces at similar times. They're not quite on the same exact piece, but it's close enough to the point where the next time an iTetromino comes is when they'll both hit a Tetris, if they're set up for it.
Indeed. Yeah, that could be part of the strategy of this game too. Is you saw earlier, if you're down in points when your opponent tops out, it's your mission to match their score, and you get 2 minutes to do so. So playing faster is an option for strategy here. You can use the down button.
Mm-hmm. That's something that doesn't exist in, like, if you played it on Nintendo, because we don't have like a rule set to facilitate that timer. But this game does have a time limit. You have to do the chase down within a certain amount of time.
All right, so a phrase I'd like to use in Classic Tetris is, oh, this player has all the time in the world to make the chase down. Not true in this game, but oh, that hang for Tailbacks. Oh, no!
That could be burnable. And Kirby's ahead, so Kirby's going to take the match, and Tailbacks is out of the tournament. And Kirby will advance. But good job by Tailbacks. Definitely in that last game, too, taking it to like level 22 into the level 20s is what you want to do.
Right, and 1 to 3. Not too bad.
Yeah, good set. So Kirby will advance, and let's see. I believe that, yeah, we're going to have Kirby versus Melon Soda then in to continue on in the losers bracket. I'm not sure which match we're doing, if we're doing winners next or if we... Okay. So we're going to be doing Zab versus JJ next, which is a winners bracket match.
Players in winners bracket still have that second chance. If they lose a game, they'll simply drop down to the losers bracket instead of dropping out of the tournament.
That's right. So yeah, the matches we saw earlier were players who had already been moved to losers bracket, and we're just continuing on with that same format. And yeah, now we'll be doing the winners in the winners bracket. Once we know who is the victor and the loser in those, then we'll have a bigger picture of the bracket and who's going to be facing Kirby and the winner of Kirby and Melon Soda.
And Chris, would you like to announce the giveaway?
Oh yeah, we have a giveaway, as some of you have been tuned into Classic Tetris and Classic Tetris 2 know that Enhance has been sponsoring us. Big shout outs to Enhance for developing and creating Tetris Effect Connected, and for providing prizes in this giveaway of Tetris Effect Connected. We will be giving out codes for Nintendo Switch and Steam, your choice. And in order to be entered into this contest, some of us and some people in the chat know, you enter the word connected into the chat, CONNECTED, the word connected into the chat, and we will have some magical bot or something go through the chat and pick out a winner for today. And
well, not actually just a winner, but 10 winners today. We got 10 copies.
10 today? What? Wow.
Yeah, so huge giveaway. Make sure you type in connected if you'd like to play the game that you're seeing here. It's an absolutely wonderful experience. You got classic, you got modern modes. There's single player, multiplayer. It's just
co-op even. There's a co-op mode. I keep forgetting about the co-op mode with the giant.
Yes, I love the co-op. It's so good. This game definitely worth a try for any Tetris fans.
The journey mode, and people just, sometimes you can just play it to relax and just chill and enjoy the backgrounds and the music and stuff. It's a game really, if Tetris is a game for everybody as it is, Tetris Effect Connected is really just the ultimate version of that. And being able to play multiplayer, multi-platform, being able to play, even if your friend has another system, another console, maybe they don't even have a console, maybe they have a computer or something, you can still play with them because of the magic of crossplay. So yeah, Tetris Effect Connected makes that all possible. Available on Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation VR, Oculus Quest, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows 10 and Epic Game Store just everywhere.
Yeah, any major gaming platform you can name, you can get Tetris Effect on it.
Yep. So yeah, we've got all connected in the chat, and we'll be off, and we'll be announcing those winners, I think, before our final matches today.
Yeah, indeed. So if you stick around the stream, you still got time to enter the giveaway.
Yep. So yeah, speaking of Tetris Effect Connected on the Switch, it was just released about a month ago, and you can play it portable. You can do more with it than a lot of the other versions of it. You can play with Joy-Cons. You can play local. You can have you can detach the controllers from the system, hand the other one to a friend, and play like as if it's a console, but like in a portable mode, docked or undocked. So just a lot of different options for the Switch version of the game, and it's really an exciting version because it's just portable, right? You could play it anywhere. You could be, on the bus or on an airplane or in a car ride, and play any version of Tetris Effect. Play it so many different modes. So
Right.
I can't wait for going on a road trip and being able to play with my friends and stuff. So here we have a trailer for the Switch version of the game. So let's go.
One of the first formal studies of the phenomenon was at Harvard Medical School in the year 2000.
Participants played the game for 7 hours each, spread over the course of 3 days.
Remarkably, 63% of the participants, almost 2/3, reported seeing imagery from the game hours after they finished playing, often just as they were falling asleep.
Blocks. They all saw blocks.
There is no end in sight for us, nothing could measure the kind of streak inside our hearts. It's all connected. We're all together in this love, don't you forget it. We're all connected in this love. There is no end in sight for us. We're all connected in this love.
And we're back. So, what do you think of? I guess this is the first time we've. Like last year we had an exhibition, but this is like the first time we've had, I guess, an open tournament to get Classic Tetris played in Tetris Effect Connected.
That's right. This was a pretty huge tournament with brackets in multiple tiers. I think for Classic, looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like so many tiers, so many people signing up. So what you're seeing is tier 1. The best players, and from whatever platform, wherever they come from, open tournament, they can play to get in.
Yeah, that's so cool. I wonder what the platform distribution is on our competitors today. I guess we can kind of tell sometimes from the controllers that they use. Looks like we see a lot of PC because they're not like orthodox controllers. I think I saw one was a Nintendo pad, but that was probably USB. So we're thinking that's probably PC, unless it was, because the Nintendo Switch does have those NES pads, but those are wireless. So I don't think that was the exact pad that they use.
And look at that
that's
shirt,
ready
stencil
shirt. Yeah.
ready.
Wow. So yeah, JJ is on the left.
And looking totally geared up to play Classic.
And Zab's on the right with the laptop. So yeah, a lot of PC play represented here. I think this is the first time I've actually seen a CTWC-style presentation with someone playing on a laptop. That's so cool. I mean, we'll see laptops in the background, like for their streaming and such, but this time they're actually using it to play the game.
Hey, see that controller for JJ?
Oh, did you see the controller?
Yeah, it was like black and green. I didn't recognize it.
Oh.
Oh, it's the Minecraft Xbox controller. Let's go.
Xbox controller, sweet. It's all about the blocks, man. 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
We love block games here.
Yeah. Who doesn't love blocks? You know, penguins like blocks made of ice.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So looks very even early on. Good clean builds. Boom, Tetris for Zab.
Very clean stack. It's another Tetris there.
Yep.
Quite looking
are
for.
near identical.
That's right. 748 points. That's less than one single on the late team.
Zab building up a little bit high. Taking a couple of burns, but bangs down to Tetris. And boom, Tetris for JJ. And JJ jumping up into a slight lead now, since Zab's waiting on that long bar for this build here.
Yep, very clean stack though. You see that
Yeah.
well was kind of too wide, closer to the top, and all
Yep,
those
too
burn
wide,
options.
able to burn.
Very nice.
Exactly. And still ready to score. Boom, Tetris for Zab.
So a pretty strong start for both players here.
Mhm.
Already just about at 150,000 each.
Yeah, a lot of the players who play CTWC are always trying to maximize their pace, trying to get the highest proportion of Tetrises versus other kinds of line clears, and only taking burns when absolutely necessary, and we're seeing that here.
Right, that's what's nice about Classic Tetris is, you know, the basic rules are so simple. What you want to do is get as many Tetrises as possible, and that's it. But the complexity lies in how you do that, how you keep the stack clean and accommodating.
Okay, so there's a slight misdrop there for Zab. Probably gonna find a way to burn that off. Does a tuck to try to keep things clean. Boom, Tetris for JJ. So with JJ's clean stack and really able to make as many Tetrises as possible with these same number of lines, Zab's probably going to fall behind its score just a bit here.
Right, yeah, just struggling to get the stack cleaned out quickly.
Okay, might opt to build on top for a dirty Tetris here. Making it on row 2, or off of row 2. So boom, Tetris for Zab. That's a dirty Tetris. And it's probably going to be comfortable staying there. It's not too dangerous. 2 rows is probably fine.
Right, it's just a little bit less space that you get to move around in.
And opts to burn off the top there. Still Tetris ready. But it's
Handful of squares.
yeah.
With the
is
S.
Getting up high.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. The right side needs some help.
But you can see that as a keyboard
nice.
player, they're using key taps, rapid key taps to override DAS and get the kind of movement you need to move things over that delayed auto shift probably wouldn't allow.
Oh, that long bar
that's
hang.
Not
It
going
was
to be
close.
possible to get it over, but yeah, it was close. But JJ is going to take that first round.
Yeah, Zab was hanging on, trying to keep it together, but in the end, the stack was just too high.
Yeah, that was a valiant effort. You could tell that that Zab was more used to playing high up top due to being able to tap on keyboard, and that if you don't have to rely on dash to get your piece started, you can actually move it over to the left and to the right in those situations just a bit better without having to pre-charge for the movement speed.
Right. If you're using the game's built-in piece movement, it's actually quite complicated. You know, the things you have to do to keep the optimal piece movement at all times. And there's some funny quirks, like if you go for certain techniques, it'll cut the amount of dash you have for the next piece. So you gotta change your strategy and put something in the middle. And it's just an entire mess that you can totally avoid by using tapping.
Yep.
Oh, JJ.
Well, it's still open. Okay, does the flapper on top. Okay, JJ is okay. He's gonna have to do a little bit of digging to get rid of those holes.
Yeah, but there it is. Okay, looking much better now.
Looking a bit jagged, but with the right pieces, it should flatten out. Okay, he's gonna opt to burn that off, gets the long bar, which is very welcome there, and opens up the well again, so.
Ooh, bit of a misshift on the T, though.
Ooh.
Nice burn with the J.
Yeah, JJ should be okay. There's a couple of holes there. We'll see if he
Ready for a
wants
Tetris.
That's gonna be a triple, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope, not a Tetris. See?
But definitely, either way is needed to burn back down. Looks like he might be going for a dirty. See how this plays out. Yeah, he's ready for a Tetris now. On row 3.
Yeah, that's the way you see. Oh, but it's not a great sequence there, and the surface of the stack is now quite bumpy.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Oh, no.
Because the left side's going to be a problem. And it looks like they might be adapted to get it over to the left. So same situation as last round where they tried to build off of row 3 and ended up topping out, not able to get things over to the left and right. So Zab's going to take that one. We're 1-1.
Right, that's really what the risk involved going for dirty Tetrises is right there. You know, you raise the stack by 2, and you need like 4 more rows to be Tetris ready, and you say add 4 if the stack's a little bit bumpy, and suddenly you're already like halfway up the screen.
Yeah, it is a bit risky to do that. And I think in the same situation, Zab's probably got a bit of an advantage just because the tapping will be able to get it over the hump if there's a spire or something, just a bit better than Das can. But if you look at, so Zab is using a laptop keyboard, and that is, I look at that and I'm like, wondering how long that computer is gonna last. Because if you're tapping that much and that fast on a laptop keyboard, like, it's not that easy to replace those. You actually have to open up your laptop and then buy the right part. I've had to actually replace laptop keyboards before, so that's a YOLO strat for using your native keyboard on a laptop to do that. Like, you know, laptops have USB ports, so you'd figure you could probably plug in a keyboard to eliminate the wear and tear on the built-in keyboard. But Zab's going all in on this, so they're playing to win.
Yeah, maybe they just figure, the keyboard, it was meant to get, buttons pushed all day, so it'll probably be fine.
For competition Tetris, sacrifices have to be made, and if Zab's comfortable with that, I'm definitely gotta respect that.
Well, I have seen gamers, and they like show a picture of their keyboard, and like all the keys are looking pretty pristine, and then there's like this very noticeable wear over the keys they use for playing their game.
Like WSAD and the spacebar are just red.
Yeah.
For a Tetris player, like the arrows are just gone.
Weathered down over time, eroded.
Yeah, especially like I'd have laptops where just like the letters on the keys would go first, and like after a while it's just like it doesn't look like it looks like one of those keyboards that are printed like without letters on them to mess people up. Yeah, I see some comments in the chat that like laptop keyboards might have faster what do you call travel time, which is partially true. But I would buy laptop style keyboards for.
Wait, JJ. Oh no!
Oh no!
Indecisive on the eyepiece. Yeah, that was just risky.
The piece, long bar dependent on the left and right is something. Yeah, you don't want to see. You don't want to build too high because that's what can happen. And wasn't able to. Yeah, the indecisiveness if you have a situation where you can't decide whether you go left or right, or you don't know enough time with DAS to get it over. That's what we saw there.
Yeah,
So,
you've only got a fraction of a second to make the right decision. And if you don't decide fast enough, your piece is in the middle, and that's where it's going to drop, and then you're suddenly thrown off.
yeah, sometimes it's better to have the second best choice, or I mean the second best place be your first choice and get it to where it needs to go than to change your mind at the end. And I need to be better about that. That kills me a lot too, is when I think of something better and I'm like, oh, I'd rather it go over there, and then I try to get it over there, and well, maybe I should have just gone with my first instinct.
All right, it snags on the way to the better spot.
Yeah. So yeah, this is JJ has to win this round to stay in the match, but since this is a winner's bracket match, then they're still in the tournament even if they lose.
There's the second chance bracket still remaining.
Yeah. Some people call it the second chance bracket. Since I come from a fighting game background in a way, like we always call it the loser's bracket, so I'm just used to that.
Yeah, it's a good point. You know, some people say, you know, it sounds kind of mean calling it the loser's bracket. I mean, you know, the players here have gotten a decent number of wins to advance that far.
But I mean, you know, you gotta give players motivation to not be a loser, right? Like, be tough and you know, stay a winner. Okay, so JJ's gonna have to do some burning there. There's weight on the right side.
Oh, and misses the S spin.
Well,
Actually, wait, does that S spin work? I don't even know if it does or not. I feel like the mirrored version with the Z works, so I don't know if that works with the S. You know, any S rotation experts in the chat can verify.
okay, JJ is almost out of that dig. But in the meantime, Zab has opened up a lead of 72,000, now 73,000 points at 194,000 points versus 120,000 points.
Oh, look at this Tetris setup for JJ. A long bar at the right time would have been so good there, allowing the well to be clean and open again, but it just didn't come. So it's gonna mean more burns.
Yeah, he's kind of piece dependent here now.
Ooh, wonderful with the J.
Burn. Good burn. Oh, but he covers up the hole right when the long bar is in the next cube. It gets it again. So
There's
boom,
another.
for JJ. Sometimes you do a little bit of gambling and it'll pay off like it did there. So he's able to score the dirty. He's still trying to drill back down to the bottom. Board's a bit piece dependent, but with looks like he's able to get out of it and scores another Tetris, reducing the deficit just a little bit, but JJ is still behind by 88,000 points. Zab now having to do some burning off the top there. Good flat burn there and ready to score.
Yeah, ooh, I like that burn setup with the J. Turned out very nice.
Hey, boom, Tetris for Zab. 89,000 point lead now.
So we're about 80 lines in. We still got a little bit more time here on the slower 18 level speed.
JJ
Nice
setting
little-
up the ducks there. Nice. Keeps it clean. That was a good timing for that long bar to come too. Boom, Tetris for JJ.
I think Zab has the lead of around 66,000 points. So that's a decent, you know, 2, 3, 4 Tetrises.
Yeah, all that burning by JJ has
Ooh,
led to
but the
that.
stack. Ooh, a little bit scary for Zab there, but we'll
Yeah.
get a long bar for a Tetris.
And if you see, yeah, Zab just burned down just to keep things safer. And that's probably the smart thing to do, especially with a point lead. as we pass the 100 line threshold, getting your board into a favorable position before the 130 lines and before level 19 is definitely the way to go. Okay, and Zab is clear. Take some burns there, but you know, it was to get the board clean and in a state where you can score again. That's where it's headed to. And JJ looking good now too. Has reduced the deficit quite a bit now. It's only behind by, is not behind, now has the lead.
Right. Used to be 60,000 down, now just 13,000.
Yeah, now it's just going back and forth now. Boom Tetris for JJ. Boom Tetris for Zab. We are neck and neck. Both of them just at about 120 lines, so transition coming soon. This is where you kind of don't want to see them take too many risks or cover their well. This is when the speed change happens. A lot of top outs also happen.
Oh, Zab.
Oh no.
That hang. Oh no, the worst
that
possible
hang
moment.
there. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's going to be survivable.
Gets the long bar over, gets the square over, but just no more options.
Pops up before transition, and with JJ already in the lead, takes that round and stays in the match. We are 2-2. This has come to a decider.
That's right. The final game 5 to see who will be the winner's finalist.
Yeah, even match here. I guess JJ kind of showing off a little bit of the shakes there.
You know, maybe want to bring the speed down a bit to catch a breather.
Yeah, actually, level 15. That has been a strat. So we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, it could be nice to see a change of pace once in a while, you know, get the nice sea foam blue and green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that there are some slight color differences between Nest Tetris and Classic Score Attack. This one's about the same, but there's some color combinations on Nest Tetris that were kind of hard to distinguish the contrast between the pieces in the background. They really improved on those.
That's right, like the infamous levels 6 and 7 are quite visible on Classic Score Attack, which is very nice.
Yeah. So I'm glad they had the sort of like the insight to want to make improvements where possible that wouldn't actually affect the spirit of the game.
All right, so JJ working on cleanup here. Just about done. And nice burns, gonna open up the well.
Yep. That was the right piece. Lays the long bar flat and uses the T. Makes a little bit of jaggedness, but uses the T. Gonna have to do some tucks now. Gets the right pieces for the tucks, but it's gonna be left with one hole. Waiting for that long bar. It's been a while. Okay, there it is.
There it is.
Home Tetris for JJ. And now Zab's doing some cleanup, trying to dig down through some holes there. So both players with a bit of digging having done, JJ will probably be able to catch up and score here.
Is JJ going for the Tetris? Yes. And there it is.
And looking to build on row 2.
Oh, look at this. That Tetris
Nice.
is going to open up the left side to remove that hole. 2 more burns, and everything is pretty much clean.
Yep, they were clean. And Zab out of that dig now. Still has a lead, but more than a Tetris now. 35,000 point lead. And bangs down another Tetris. Now 54,000 point lead. All right, both players clean. Zab with the Tetris.
Tetris
And
for
JJ.
JJ.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so JJ back about 10 lines and down 37,000 points, which means probably cancels out just about, and it's a very close game. Kind of a big spire here for Zab, but hopefully that T-piece will help flatten it out a little bit.
Yep. And then 3 wide well is going to do some burns just to flatten it out there.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the T-piece is it has the ability to create or remove an extremely bumpy stack.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out what you do with those T-pieces.
Yeah, they can be useful. They're mostly friendly. I'm usually happy when I see a T. All right, Simul Tetris. Zab up by 60,000 points.
Yeah, so we're coming up on level 16 for Zab. That's gonna be at 100 lines.
So yeah, there's going to be a mini transition here with that Tetris.
You know, the diet transition.
Oh, mischief there. So that's going to create a hole. See if JJ can take advantage with this digging that Zab will have to be doing.
Zab wanted a nice, clean and quick down stack there, but the RNG kind of didn't allow it.
Yeah, starting to look a little spiry and piece dependent, so we'll see. It can be resolved, it's just kind of need a little favorable piece set. So here's that level 17 colors, looking a lot better than they did on the old Nintendo version.
All right. So luckily, this is still just the 16 through 18 speed.
Yeah. Although there's level 19's coming soon. 10 more or 9 more lines now for Zab. And nice clean board, so Zab's ready for it just in time. JJ in good shape too. Tetris ready.
Tetris
Boom,
for both players.
Yeah.
So-
It looks like JJ's gonna build off row 1 there.
Yeah. Ooh, Zab holding out for a long bar here, or maybe taking the burn. Okay.
Triple off the top. Good choice. A little high, but it's Tetris there.
Yeah. So now this is tough for Zab. You know, with the score so close and being ahead in lines, you know, that's actually a disadvantage because you want to have more lines to work with.
Right.
And JJ still Tetrising, actually grabs the lead and is still back on level 18. Zab, level 20 now. And keeping it together, but just barely. Quite spidery
Yeah.
stack.
Yeah, Zab has a lot. Looks like they probably want to burn back down to a safer elevation.
Ah, but
And
there it is, some good pieces to level it out.
Okay, and Tetris ready. Boom, Tetris for Zab. Level 22 now.
Both players on the faster 19 speed, which will last until 29.
Yeah, so scores are neck and neck, but Zab is ahead by quite a lot of points. So if these players are to play to kill screen, JJ has more time to get a higher score than Zab has currently.
Right, you see the level difference, level 20 to level 23. Oh, a triple for Zab there. Has a small score lead, but the Lions' advantage still lies with JJ.
Yeah, JJ just hit the Tetris there, jumping into the lead just slightly.
Clean stack here for Zab. Gonna make a safe move. And oh no! Missed
dropped the
tap on the
long bar,
eyepiece.
JJ coming from behind, taking the set there, will be sending Zab to the losers bracket. Look, JJ. Look. But yeah, that was
Well
a
done.
very, very close match there, and Yeah, once again, level 15 kind of playing a factor in the outcome. Interesting.
Yeah.
Still got the jitters.
Still shaky, but luckily you got a little bit of time to take a break, maybe, get some water, do some stretches.
Do your fingers, as Alexei Pajitnov says.
Indeed.
The vibrating fingers. But yeah, so JJ's going to be advancing, and then we'll be seeing Zab later on. Looks like they're being matched up against Melon Soda.
All right.
So now we're going to have Chronos versus Somalian.
Players are getting ready. And then after that, we'll have another set of second chance bracket matches to play.
Right. And right, depending on the outcome of this, will determine who Kirby will be facing in the losers bracket as well.
That's right.
All right. And looks like we're getting the players set up. It's so cool getting to see kind of like into the lives of the players behind the screen.
Right. That's a part of Tetris that you don't really see, like in 2019, it was all at the Expo Center, everyone's in the same room. But, with doing everything over a distance, you get to have a little bit of a peek into everyone's own home setup and, how they play the game.
Mm-hmm. And Chronos is on the left and Somalian is on the right.
Yeah, so this should be another good one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, winners bracket match. So even if one of them is defeated, they will be seen again, and will be facing Kirby.
Right, the second chance against Kirby. Maybe you're thinking you want to win to avoid that outcome, because Kirby's pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, it's always favorable to stay in the winners bracket just because it's safer. You don't get to. It's like you get to take that extra life.
Indeed.
And sometimes we see, what you don't want to have happen though is stay in the winners bracket and someone from the losers bracket. We've seen reverse sweeps happen a lot lately in our CTWC broadcasts, like for our main bracket.
Ooh.
Happened several times. So momentum can be a big thing. Okay, looks like they're about ready. Okay, looks like our cameras are moving around a bit, so that's going to be Somalian on the left and Chronos on the right now. Yeah, sometimes we have to flip them just to kind of create the proper competitive aesthetic.
Yeah, Alakazam, there we go.
That'd be funny if they have, maybe like for STM or something, they like flip the camera so they're looking away from each other and it looks all raw. then that way people would appreciate when we do it right. But yeah, sometimes you'll see, the D-pad on the right side, or the buttons on the wrong side, or words on shirts being backwards, and that's usually just an artifact of flipping the camera.
Yeah, all right. So it looks like we're just about ready to get started here.
Mm-hmm.
The time is now.
Looks like we're going to be going 18 so far. And it looks like a clone nest pad there. I know some of the USB ones are colored that way.
Yeah, could be a USB controller. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Let's see how many moves are the exact same.
All so far.
6,
Tuck.
7. All right. Okay, there we go. 6 pieces the same.
That's cool to see sometimes.
The synchronized dance of the block stacking.
Yeah. Optimal placements. But yeah, Chronos having to do some burns first. And Somalian not quite clean now either, but opting to burn the triple early on. Probably don't have to be super aggressive, so probably a good way to go.
Right. Just keeping the stack clean is the main priority. You know, if it takes a decent amount of time, you know, so be it. At least you get to have a clean stack by the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, this in the early goings, you just kind of want to stay safe and get a feel for how your opponent's doing. Your opponent might even early top out, so not necessitating any overly aggressive moves or any crazy high stacks or trying to squeeze too much potential out of your pieces, which might cause it to be dangerous.
Yeah, like that too wide well for Somalian. So very safe. Ready for an eyepiece and ready for not eyepieces.
Yep. Waiting for a long bar. Ooh, slight up there, but gets the long bar. Bum Tetris for Somalian. And Chronos is in a dig now, so hasn't been able to score in a while. Is only going to get a triple out of that of long bumps, but skims a double off the top there. Smart move.
Somalian really wanted an L piece earlier, but didn't get one, and now the stack is getting kind of high. Needs a long bar.
Really needs a long bar.
Oh, this is so high, but blocks the well right when the long bar comes, and that's gonna be it for Somalian.
Yeah,
ouch.
Really top out. And ahead by now only 9,000 points. Chronos has a very small chase down.
Right, that's just gonna be about
line it out.
10 lines or so with all singles.
Yeah, you can pretty much do it with anything.
You know, and 2 minutes is not an issue.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you could fill the matrix with pieces and then and lose at this point, as long as it's not like an intentional top out.
And there we go. Chronos will take the first game.
Yeah, I think in the first version of Classic Score Attack, they didn't have the timer and they added that later. So they've been listening. They've been finding what works and improving it along the way.
Yeah, 37 drought you saw there. It's starting to get in the upper numbers there, a little bit scary.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And yeah, with the overlay that we use for the CTWC Max Out Club, we have like the real-time drought meter. That's always visible, but in Tetris Effect Connected, there is a drought counter, but you don't get to see it till the end of the match.
Look at this synchronized gameplay.
Wow. There you go. Boom. Simul Tetris for Somalian and Chronos.
And the same burn with the T.
Still going. Mind meld here.
There we go. That's the diverge.
Yeah.
Look at that bumpy stack on the left side for Somalian. There's a T piece, and there you go. Bumpiness removed.
Looking good on both fields now. Somalian with a 1 Tetris lead.
Chronos with a bit of an awkward stack to deal with those pieces.
Yeah, just needs some decent pieces to get back in business here. Not super dangerous yet, but...
Yeah, taking the safe move with the J. There was an option to build for a Tetris there, but... You know, safer move, I approve.
Yep, early going, still gets a Tetris. Down by 70,000 points, but still early on.
Tetris for Somalian. About 30-ish lines in. Somalian with a pretty strong lead here.
Mm-hmm.
It's already almost at 200,000 points.
Yeah, that weight on the well on the right side of Chronos' playfield. Got to burn it down. Finally, nope.
Yep, the more blocks on top of the well, you can kind of plan out. You say, all right, there's 3 blocks over the well. That's going to be at least 3 burns. So
Yeah.
ideally, you don't put too many over the well. But oh, dang, just a rough sequence here. Chronos in a little bit of danger. That L piece, oh no.
Just a big mess now. And that's going to be really tough to clean. And Somalian's going to take that one. So yeah, we're 1-1. But yeah, that just kind of spiraled out of control there. And you gotta just see it's just like, maybe it's a lost cause. And Chronos wasn't feeling it. So sometimes that's what it takes. You need to say, all right, give that one away, but come back stronger in the next round.
Right, still in the middle of the set. There's time to bounce back. It's 1-1.
Yeah, they're up 1, so now it's 1-1.
All right, no synchronized dance at the start of this game.
Yep, both doing their own thing. And Somalian hitting that Tetris first. And Chronos not far behind.
And Tetris for Chronos. So, overall, pretty clean stacks to start off here. There was a little bit of burning at the very start.
Somalian making an adjustment to build up high on the left. Good tuck. And boom, Tetris for Somalian. And yeah, both are clean now, so looking to score.
Chronos looking for an L piece to fill in that middle part there.
Yeah. Oh, manages to do a burn there and use slightly different pieces to get out of that, but it's clean again.
And there it is. But once again, the spot for the L piece. It can be filled with the long bar though. No problem.
Yep. Yep, spin for Somalian. Getting everything to fit together, using a tuck there.
As much as everyone's favorite piece is the long bar, you gotta have all 7 to make the stack work.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could probably play maybe without the square.
Yeah, maybe. J, L, and I are pretty flat. But the square, there are definitely times where it's the best piece for the stack.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, Somalian actually did an adjustment with that T piece to get ready for the square there.
Yeah. Yeah, square is good there. I'm just saying, if I were forced to play a game, and let's say if you had a version of Tetris that says, all right, you get to pick which Tetramino gets next from this.
I'm gonna veto the S. Chronos doing a little bit of a dig here. Oh, that S didn't fit right.
Lots of holes.
It's the long bar over to the left, but is this survivable?
Ooh,
no, that I piece doesn't get over to the right.
Can't get anything over there.
Oh, ouch.
Maybe only a roller could flat burn that, but yeah, that's going to be a win for Somalian. So Somalian up by 1. Chronos needs to win this next one to stay in the match, even though this is a winner's bracket match, so the loser will be going down to face Kirby.
Alright, so we're going to see the 15 speed choice again.
Yeah,
if things aren't working, you can try and change it up.
Yeah, that's been pretty consistent across all the matches we've seen today. It's when the goings get rough, pick 15.
It could pay off. Let's see.
Oh man, mistuck by Somalian. Kind of creating a bit of a mess there. We'll see how he deals with that.
Maybe it's the 15 speed. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes you just got to do it to mix things up.
There's a triple for Somalian. Looks like just trying to bring the stack down. Making good progress so far. Looking for an L now. And what do you know? There it is. Actually, I think that was a J. Yeah, that was a J.
Chronos with a really jagged board with holes in it. It's going to be digging for a while there. That's not going to be Tetris ready for a million years.
Yeah, there's that square shape kind of cut out of the stack.
Yeah.
But there it is, making progress.
All right. Get ready for an archaeological dig. Oh, you might be going for a dirty here. It's possible.
Ooh, yeah, left side, dirty.
The dirty triple gets the job done. But wow, just vertical gaps in the stack. I mean, it kind of looks like garbage sending from one of the other modes in the game. But
yeah,
get through it.
Just playing zone battle over here.
Dirty center well Tetris turns it around. Nice.
Very nice. And just a few more rows to clean up before everything is neat and tidy.
Using that time machine to take that prehistoric dig into the future. Good job.
So true. There's a long bar for a Tetris, and Chronos looking pretty good. One more long bar will mean a very clean stack.
I guess, if you play on level 15, you are actually capable of playing a little more risky, doing things like dirty center wells, things like that, and Chronos delivered on those.
Right, with the slower falling speed, you have just a little bit more space to work with. But still, you can't get too fancy. It's still NES Tetris. The RNG is not nice. If you make too many mistakes, you will be out of here.
Building a spire on top of your wall is usually not what you want to do. Unless you're playing Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless, my former favorite Tetris game.
Ooh, former favorite got dethroned.
Oh yeah, Tetris Effect connected, baby.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's a very good game.
It took, geez, how many years was that? When was 1993?
Yeah. What, 20...
27 years?
Yeah,
yeah. That was that long. That's a long time. When I first interviewed at BPS, I actually did get the job at BPS. I did work at that time, the Tetris company holder.
Fascinating.
I brought my copy of Super Tetris 2 plus Bombless limited edition, the black cartridge, BPS office, and I had Hank Rogers sign it. And
that's got to feel special.
Yeah, that was one of the best moments of my life, and then they hired me, so I was like so happy. Oh, and Chronos just keeping that center well. Love to see it. I'm a big fan of the center well.
Yeah, in CTWC, Quaid showed off that center well can definitely work.
Yeah. It's a play style thing. Some players are acclimated to it. Ooh.
Oh, Somalian getting kind of high up, actually. And a hang on the right side.
Okay, so there's a chase down here. Chronos getting the log bar. Boom! Tetris for Chronos center well. Just needs one more to secure the victory here. And definitely needs to get on the board here to stay in the match. So taking the triple. Moving the well over to the right.
And you see he started using the push downs because want to make that chase down happen as quick as possible. Don't want to cut it too close.
Yeah. GG's. So we're going to get our decider here between Somalian and Chronos. And looks like it's going back to 18.
All right, level 15 definitely worked for Chronos. So
yeah,
it may be Somalian's choice.
Yep.
18. All comes down to this. Double IP start. That's a interesting detail. In the original game, it's actually impossible to start a game with IP pieces in a row.
I think someone, was it maybe Alex Kerr maybe, told Enhance about it, so maybe they'll fix it. So we'll see.
Right. You know, but that's getting into like the ultra technical, you know, how the pieces generate pieces.
Yeah, it's not gonna change the outcome of the match per se, I don't think, but it's just a little detail, and having that community knowledge of that detail is really impressive. That's just so cool.
Right. There's actually a few members of the Tetris community that were involved with the making of this game, and specifically Classic Score Attack.
Yeah. Most notable, I know Green Tea was involved.
Right. Actually got hired by Enhanced to be the lead multiplayer game designer.
Yeah. No, I love seeing stories like that. You know, people who love a game eventually end up becoming developers on it. And it's kind of like the path I took. What's funny is my first job in the industry was at Tengen, which, you know, they made a version of Tetris, and I also worked at BPS. So seeing Green Tea, like a big fan of Tetris, getting to work on an official Tetris game in such a way to contribute to it is a really great story. I want to see that happen more. Okay, so clean fields. Somalian up to a lead now of almost 2 Tetrises.
Oh dang, I just checked Twitch and the view count went all the way to 6,000.
At 6,000.
So people are here to see the Tetris.
Boom, Tetris for Somalian. Somalian had not the prettiest stack just a few moments ago, but is able to really just clean it up and get into a nice position again.
Right, Chronos. Beautiful S burn there. We're just not getting the friendliest of sequences to deal with.
A little bit of gaps, but with the right pieces.
Looking for a J, but it's starting to get a little bit dicey. Left side could use an L.
So can't afford to give this game up here. Okay, that worked out. Needs another long bar though on the left side.
Right,
Don't want to
stack.
let fire a lot of control.
It's looking pretty flat, pretty okay. You know, taking it safe. Very nice.
Yep. Facilitated that J burn there. Good. And we'll get out of that quite nicely. And ready for the Tetris. Boom! Tetris for Chronos.
Very nicely played there.
Yes. And Somalian ahead. Okay, so boom, Tetris for Somalian. Up by a Tetris, and Chronos board looking good again. Hoping to fire back. Okay, kind of the piece dependent, waiting for that J, but is going to cover it up. And instead going to have to burn just a bit. Get back into position. Somalian's playfield looking really good. Nice slope. Gets a long bar. Somalian jumping into a bigger lead now at 61,000 points. 292,000 now, 315,000 points versus Chronos at 232. Chronos almost out of the dig. Just needs to get... Oh, he opts to use the long bars, not in where he guess he wanted that L to go. Usually when you get 2 long bars in a row, that'll help you solve any J or L dependencies.
God dang. Just a lot of burns for Chronos is allowing Somalian to be so far in the lead here. 138,000 point difference. Ooh.
And just is gonna have to take that well on the left there, and probably gonna burn it off. So yeah, Somalian's lead growing to 156,000 points now, as they start to get closer to 130 lines at the level 19 transition where everything speeds up. Boom, Tetris for Somalian, 117 lines now, so getting close to transition. They want to get their boards in order. Chronos is almost out of it. Finally clean again. And is ready to score. Gets the long bar. Boom! Tetris for Chronos. And we are within 5 to 10 lines of the level 19 transition, where you want to have your board as clean as possible. And Chronos looking like in good shape now. Okay, so Somalian hits level 19. Good shape. 220,000 point lead. Chronos
this is rough.
Work to do. Yeah.
Has a clean stack into 19, so
clean transition. Who barely getting, almost misdropped that I bar.
This is rough.
There. Taking a triple there. So Chronos probably best trying to get their bearings here at the higher speed, and then start to try to fight back that point deficit now, because Somalian is ahead by almost 220,000 points. Oh man, now
Chronos holding out, but no long bar in sight.
And man, Somalian's lead with authority takes the match, and will send Chronos to the losers bracket to face Kirby.
Ooh. All right, well done, Somalian, taking it with a decisive decider, game 5.
Yeah, that was a amazing set. Very evenly matched. We saw it go back and forth for a while there. We saw the level 15 strat in play, and then it got taken to a decider. That's what you want to see. And Chronos kind of having some difficulty getting, not falling behind in score, and then getting the playfield under control, and then Somalian was able to secure the victory there.
Indeed.
So yeah, now we know what our losers bracket matches are going to look like. We're going to have Zab versus Melon Soda and Chronos versus Kirby.
Yeah, there's the bracket getting filled in like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the tournament here is boiling down. It's getting more and more intense as time goes on.
All right, so we want to shout out to our sponsor, Xbox. Going strong with the Xbox Series X and S. They've been our sponsor for some years now. They're our first big name sponsor, and helped enhance, develop Tetris Effect Connected, particularly with the Connected update. Getting some of the networking stuff worked out wouldn't have been possible without them. But yeah, definitely we want to thank Xbox for being a CTWC sponsor and a sponsor for the 2021 Connected event once again. Definitely the first platform that had Tetris Effect Connected available for it. So you can play Tetris Effect Connected on the Series X or S or Windows 10 cross-platform play. And here's the read. It's the most powerful, performant, immersive, and compatible next-gen console gaming experiences, providing the freedom to play your games with your friends anytime, anywhere. Xbox Series X and S. Thank you, Xbox.
Yeah, definitely. Might not have Tetris Effect Connected at all if it weren't for the support from Microsoft and the Xbox brand. So definitely huge thanks to them.
Yeah, I talked to the devs and they said it wouldn't have been possible without that support. So very impressive, and glad that without that we might not have this Classic Tetris mode in the game, and getting more people into Classic Tetris.